All right, guys, we got Bitcoin coming in at 33,987. We just went under the $34,000 mark. We talked about this on the channel over the last couple of days. I think Bitcoin's probably going to consolidate in the $33,000 mark. There's no way Bitcoin could have kept going up forever unless we got that ETF news. The interesting thing about this pump is, like all Bitcoin pumps, Bitcoin pumps first, then you see your altcoins pump. We saw some of these altcoins go up, significantly. Um, you know, Cardano was like basically almost at 30 cents like 2 hours ago. Litecoin well over $70 a couple hours ago. Now, everything's kind of pulling back right now as Bitcoin pulls back, but this is your typical Bitcoin pump. Bitcoin first, then the altcoins follow. Vulcan Forge. I made a video about Vulcan Forge a couple of days ago. Then Vulcan Forge goes up like 50% in a day, but now it just like is retracing all the gains. And that's kind of what happens with these altcoins. Like I've been saying, we're going to have a very volatile next 6 months. But I think Bitcoin needs to be consolidating right now, really in the lower 33,000s, maybe like 33.2, 33.5. Just kind of hang out there and just kind of gear up for the next push up. Most analysts at this point are thinking there's a good possibility, especially if we get that Bitcoin ETF, that Bitcoin goes up to 45,000 sometime in November, which, man, could you imagine if that happens? Like we're already basically halfway to all-time highs. So here's the article. Bitcoin price model expects $45,000 phase to hit in November. Bitcoin remains on track to deliver a possible future gains of up to 30% versus current BTC price levels, says CryptoCon. Bitcoin reaching 17th month highs this week has many market participants expecting a pullback, but CryptoCom believes that plenty of upside potential remains. Comparing current Bitcoin price behavior to previous cycles, he showed that there is still room for Bitcoin to expand to the highest Fibonacci mode 5 targets to hit mid-cycle top. 4 have already been seen, with targets lying around 3.3% above this week's top at 36,368. In between them are what are called phases, and November now marks a deadline for the next to be completed. The move to the cycle mid-top usually takes about 2 months after the end of phase 2. Since our month is about to come to a close in phase 4, the mid-top could be complete as soon as November. So, like I said, it is possible. The only way I think this is going to happen, and I'm like, if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved tomorrow, I think we're going to go up to 45,000, within a week. But it all depends right now on that ETF. If we don't get any ETF news, really the next major thing to pump Bitcoin is the halving, and we're going to have to wait that 5 or 6 months. So it would be very possible if we don't get any ETF news that Bitcoin goes back down to $30,000, and then maybe we get a pump back up to $33,000 and just kind of hang out there. Bitcoin right now is news driven. Let's just be honest. Until we get to that happening, so. But I do think we're probably going to see an ETF very, very soon. I wouldn't be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the ETF gets approved like next week. I mean, I just think it's coming very, very soon. So overall, extremely bullish. I was watching BitBoy last night, and he had that Crypto Wendy on. I just found this banter to be kind of funny. It's like, we talked about BitBoy yesterday. He's getting divorced, which we completely caught on this channel. And here's Wendy just kind of, she's joking around, but she's just shitting on him. And it's just kind of like, with every joke, there's a hint of truth in it.
So I get to ask Ben questions?
Yeah, sure.
Ben,
Ben is on the stand right now. So.
Oh, I get to ask Ben questions? Ben, why are you dumb?
Because I trusted TJ. That's why. That's my fault. I trusted TJ. That's my main reason I'm dumb. I've been humbled by my own idiocy to trust a snake.
Okay.
A real short man. A real tiny man that's a snake.
You're not very tall yourself.
I'm 5'10". What do you mean? I'm an inch taller than the average male American. TJ's 5'7". Go ahead.
5'9" is not the average American male.
It is.
5'10.5" is.
That's closer to 8 feet.
Actually, no, that's not true. Guys, can I share my screen here? Well, this is obviously very important. We need to check this out here.
3 years later, you're still.
This is where I was filling out my plow.
All right. With that said, we like to shit on Ben, but this is definitely an entertaining channel. So As long as he doesn't go too crazy over the next couple months going through his divorce, like I've always said, he's going to clobber that Discovery Crypto channel. I mean, I could just watch Ben pretty much talk all day. All right, let's see what else is going on. Sam Bankman-Fried is about to testify in his trial. He's probably testifying right now as we speak. Can you imagine they're actually putting Sam Bankman-Fried on the stand? You know, they don't have to do that. I guess he's just that cocky. Scaramucci talks a little bit about how he's pretty much going to, you know, dig his own grave here.
Alive. There's no way to escape. He's going to think he's going to outfox the prosecutors, but they're very, very well experienced with this stuff. And they're going to point out all the contradictions, and they're going to prove the criminal intent with him on the stand. So this is only going to add years to his sentence. But the good news for all of us, though, is that this Sam Bankman-Fried nightmare will end in the next couple of weeks. And then the industry, hopefully you'll invite me on to combat the disinformation that's in the industry.
Yeah.
As you know, Senator Elizabeth Warren are going after the industry, saying that crypto and Bitcoin is being used for Hamas, which is clearly not true. And you've got...
Anyway, so that's that. Sam Bankman-Fried. I guess if the trial should be wrapping up pretty soon. So probably within the next couple of weeks. Well, actually, once he gets found guilty, then they're going to have to do sentencing after that. So it could be like another month before we figure it out. But yeah, he's getting like 30 to 50 years is what it's looking like to me. All right, some Cardano news. Cardano price rally. Cardano on the way to $1 amid current developments. The Cardano has introduced a new staking mechanism that will give the blockchain a competitive edge by reducing mining pool costs. Ethereum competitor Cardano has also been part of the current altcoin market rally. The Cardano price is up 3% in the last 24 hours, moving above 29 cents. I guess this was written yesterday because we're kind of dumping right now. Is Cardano gearing up for a rally to $1 despite a 20% rebound since October 19th, which brought it back to the 29-cent range? Cardano's current trajectory still remains bearish. This sentiment is reinforced by a descending trend line that consistently intersects recent highs as evident in the chart below. I kind of agree with that. You know, I think there's a lot of resistance right now for Cardano at 30 cents. And even now we're kind of like pulling back a little bit. And Bitcoin's back above $34,000 now. I think if we hit 30 cents for Cardano, a lot of people are going to take profits, a lot of short-term traders. So we're probably going to be in one of those situations where we hit 30 cents, we dump, we get like some dump because everybody's selling. We go back down to like 27 cents, and then we finally break up through that 30 cents resistance. Because remember, Cardano's been under 30 cents for a while now. So there's a lot of people probably looking to take some profit. So we still have a ways to go. You know, while everything that's happened in the last couple weeks or days or whatever it was is extremely bullish, we still have a ways to go before it's like, you know, we're in full-fledged bull market where these altcoins absolutely go crazy. Right now, we're just kind of seeing a taste of things to come. You know, with everybody talking about the ETF, one reason I'm actually overall bullish now on the ETF, I mean, everybody thinks it's going to happen. You know, the SEC has been going to court for the last couple of years, and they've lost like 90% of the cases at this point. JP Morgan says an SEC rejection on a spot Bitcoin ETF could lead to lawsuits. So what would happen at this point if the SEC just starts like just knocking out these ETF requests? Like say they all get denied, which we don't think is going to happen. They're going to be sued by every one of these companies. They're just going to get sued to oblivion, and I don't think the SEC wants that. Me personally, I think the SEC has capitulated on Bitcoin. I think they're just like, screw it. It's not worth it. There's so many other scam cryptos out there we can go after. We're just not going to go with Bitcoin. They're probably just going to approve the Bitcoin ETF, let it happen. It's not worth it anymore, and then they're probably still going to go after some of these smaller projects. But overall, guys, I mean, this ETF is happening, and with all the insiders buying right now, like they know something. They know something that we don't. Like they've been given the go ahead and buy Bitcoin. So, you know, anybody who's still like a little bit on the fence, like, oh, is the ETF going to get approved? I think it's like a 99.9% chance we're getting that Bitcoin ETF. Honestly, probably within the next few months, maybe even sooner. And let's finish off with Anthony Pompliano, however you pronounce his name, talking about what he thinks is going to happen after we get that Bitcoin ETF approval. I completely agree. Big pump followed by probably a dump.
Situation, which is if in fact this ETF exists, there's a big announcement, is that a great day for Bitcoin, or is that baked into the price and you needed to have gotten there beforehand and actually goes down afterwards?
I think it's a great point. The halvings historically have been this like buy the rumors, sell the news events. The ETF probably is going to be something like that, where if you saw this fake news, I guess it was, where the ETF got approved, but it really wasn't approved. Right. Basically, price went up thousands of dollars in a few minutes, then drew right back down as soon as it was determined that it was fake. And so you probably will get some sort of short-term movement just out of the excitement. But I do think that this anticipation is obviously driving the price up. It was 25,000, now it's 34,000. You're just eating into what was potential returns on the approval. And so the question isn't so much what happens on day one. Galaxy Digital just came out with a research report. They think $14 billion will go into the ETF in the first year. If that happens, what does that do to the price? Their expectation is that's going to drive the price 75% higher. And so that's just their estimation around the ETF. If that's true, that's a pretty big price move for an asset that's already hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap.
If you're interested in learning more and making...
Yeah, so guys, in a nutshell, big things to come. It's going to be volatile. Like I've always said with this ETF gets approved. We're going up to $45,000. Then we're probably going to dump right back under to probably like $38,000. Then we'll probably hang out there a little bit until the halving. Then once we get to the halving, we'll probably get a pump to like $50,000. Then we'll probably go back down to $40,000 because it's kind of like a sell the news after the halving. And then the actual event of the halving, which kind of dictates price because the supply gets cut, then Bitcoin will slowly be going up next year, making it back up to all-time highs, making it up to $100,000. Once that happens, you're going to see your altcoins go absolutely crazy. That will be full-blown alt season. A lot of people are so excited over the last couple of days. Oh, altcoins are going crazy. This is alt season. Guys, this is nothing. Like what you've seen in some of these altcoins with like Vulcan Forge pumping 50% in a couple of days, or what Hex went up 200% in a week, Cardano up 20% in a week, Solana up 50% in a week. Like this is like a joke. Like this is not alt season. This is like just typical bear market going into bull market price action. When you see what happens when we go into a bull market where you see some of these coins over a week just like tripling in value, quadrupling in value. I saw it happen. Cardano, Theta, even Ethereum back in the day. Like they absolutely go crazy. So we got to get that money flowing into Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps first, then it flows into your altcoins. And every time this happens, when Bitcoin goes up to all-time highs again and your altcoins are underperforming, all the dumb money is going to come out and say, oh my God, just Bitcoin's pumping. This cycle is different. Altcoins aren't going to pump. It's just Bitcoin. Sell all your altcoins, get into Bitcoin. And a lot of you guys are going to sell your altcoins and put it into Bitcoin after Bitcoin's already pumped because you think, hey, look, this is a Bitcoin only run. And then once you do that, your altcoins start blowing up and just pumping. It happens every cycle. So good things happening. But really to get like for a short-term pump right now, we need that Bitcoin ETF approved. If it doesn't get approved, we're probably going to be hanging around between $30,000 and $35,000 until the halving. And that's just the way it goes. All right, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.